my name is Lara, and my presentation looks at viewing Swift Kelce Mania from an economic and sociological lens. Many of you already know, probably, that Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce started dating during the summer of 2023 and have been a public couple ever since. Taylor Swift attended her first football game supporting Travis Kelce on September 24th, 2023, and the NFL has been benefiting financially from her star power ever since. Regarding exactly how much Taylor Swift financially helped the NFL, quote, according to Apex Marketing, Taylor Swift has effectively generated an additional $331.5 million in brand value for the Chiefs and NFL. In part because Taylor Swift has an enormous fan base who are mostly female, when Taylor Swift began attending games, viewership among this population, a market where there was much room for improvement, increased greatly. Many women who never watched football before began tuning in, which included a 53% viewership increase among teenage girls and a 24% increase in viewership among women aged 18 through 21. Ultimately, in part as a result of these increases, viewership increased by 2 million female viewers. This is a particularly dramatic example of market expansion. Taylor Swift's draw provided the NFL with a unique opportunity to try and connect with a young female audience, many of whom were new to watching football regularly. Marcus Collins, professor of marketing at Michigan Ross School of Business, told Yahoo Finance that it would be prudent for the NFL to reflect on, quote, what it is about these new viewers beyond their affinity for Taylor Swift that the NFL could program around. However, the NFL offers an example of how adjusting to accommodate new markets is not always a smooth process, as the NFL has received complaints from many viewers who believed that Taylor Swift spectating the game was being showed too much during the live coverage of the games. One viewer who feels this way is former Patriots tight end Rob Gronkowski, who stated his view that, quote, yes, you can show her, but not every single play, end quote. His view is representative of many, reflecting challenges implicit in appealing to a wider audience. Scholars who published an article in the Montclair State University's School of Communication and Media Scholarship and Creative Works Digital Commons identify the public nature of the Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce relationship as a contributing factor to the anticipated increased viewership of the 2024 Super Bowl. The latter part of their thesis was proven correct, as according to NPR, the 2024 Super Bowl was, quote, the most watched Super Bowl in history, end quote. The former part of their thesis was supported by a formal analysis of social media activity. For example, these scholars cite that, quote, Taylor Swift-related hashtag Super Bowl posts on X totaled more than the combined number of posts about the game's quarterbacks and even her beau, Travis Kelce, end quote. Further, this scholarly article cites that, quote, the social mentions of Taylor Swift and Super Bowl reached 2 million in the 7-day period after the Chiefs' win on January 28th, end quote. One can assume many of these posts were shared and written by people who would not have been posting about the Super Bowl had it not been for Taylor Swift's influence, because these analytics indicate more interest in Taylor Swift as her life relates to the Super Bowl than football players as their lives relate to the Super Bowl. Not only was the NFL brand and viewership positively impacted by Taylor Swift's presence at the games, but also Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce have personally financially benefited from Swift Kelce Mania. For example, sales for Travis Kelce's jersey increased by 400% following Taylor Swift's first public appearance at a game supporting Travis Kelce. Additionally, according to Yahoo Finance, Travis Kelce's Instagram followers, quote, went up by 1.3 million in the weeks since the Swift rumors first began, end quote. Further, Travis Kelce's podcast New Heights had become a #1 on Apple Podcasts' top charts last fall. Taylor Swift's listenership and followers on social media have also increased since the beginning of her public relationship with Travis Kelce. Clothing and food items associated with Taylor Swift as she supports Travis Kelce at games also experienced financial benefit. For example, there was a boost in New Balance sales after Taylor Swift was spotted wearing a pair of New Balance sneakers to a game, and notably, the company Heinz produced for sale a dressing called Ketchup and Seemingly Ranch as a reference to a tweet that included a picture of a snack Taylor Swift was eating at a football game. Heinz's marketing strategy here increased internet searches for Heinz dramatically. These examples reveal that although Taylor Swift's impact on NFL profits are undeniable, the economic influence of Taylor Swift Kelce Mania does not stop there. The fact that Taylor Swift writes and produces her own songs, sometimes in collaboration with co-writers and co-producers and sometimes not, contributes to her image as a feminist figure. Pop music production is disproportionately male, despite a plethora of successful female pop singers. As a result, after Taylor Swift transitioned to the pop genre in 2014 and began collaborating with more popular producers like Max Martin and Ryan Tedder, the public media questioned more how large a role Taylor Swift played in the songwriting and producing process of songs she co-wrote and co-produced. This media scrutiny included but is not limited to publications like Forbes and The New Yorker. Both of these articles, whose titles were chosen for this slide, insinuate that co-producers, some of whom were Swedish, had more influence over Taylor Swift's songs than Taylor Swift herself. Seemingly in response to increased scrutiny over her role in the songwriting and production process, Taylor Swift included voice memos in the deluxe version of the album 1989. Taylor Swift explains that when she gets an idea for a song, the first thing that she does is records a voice memo of her singing an early version of what will eventually become a song on her album, and ideas for the production of that song. Her choice to include these voice memos illustrates Taylor Swift's importance to the songwriting and production process of her songs, which contributes to her being a feminist figure in the male-dominated music production industry. Further, more recently when Taylor Swift re-recorded many of her albums so that she could have ownership, this action is aligned with feminist ideals, as well as music albums are most commonly owned by record companies, and according to the Los Angeles Times, quote, of the top executives at 70 leading music companies, 86% were men. Taylor Swift identifies as feminist, and much of her choices in her career outlined earlier reflect this ethos. However, as no one is perfect, there have been instances where Taylor Swift does not embody the feminist ideal perfectly. Taylor Swift is sometimes considered a celebrity post-feminist, because this means, according to scholar Lauren O'Neill's definition, she is someone who identifies as a feminist, however displays certain behaviors that contest traditional feminist ideals, end quote. One such behavior includes Taylor Swift's decisions surrounding the production of her music video Bad Blood in 2015, in which she presents her body as well as the bodies of a chosen group of mostly supermodel co-stars in an idealized way. More recently, Miss Magazine notes that Taylor Swift's choice of wardrobe for her Eras tour is, quote, conventionally sexy, end quote, which this magazine argues is, quote, no less a coincidence that she is also conventionally attractive, young, fit, blonde, and white, end quote. These choices by Taylor Swift serve to perpetuate a popular narrative, noted by scholar Lauren O'Neill, that, quote, contemporary post-feminist media emphasizes attaining a sexy body as the key to a woman's identity, end quote. I included this slide in the presentation to illustrate the reasons why some advocates and scholars, such as writers for Miss Magazine and PhD candidates publishing through universities, have argued that Taylor Swift is a representative figure for post-feminism, though I do not agree myself with every facet of this argument. Like Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce straddles the line between traditional ideals associated with his gender and a more progressive set of definitions. The ways in which Travis Kelce embodies traditional ideals of masculinity are rather obvious. He has a muscular physique and he is a professional football player. Additionally, Fox News, as well as other conservative voices, have made comments that appear to allude to Travis Kelce's masculinity as a positive. These voices include conservative author Justin Hart, aide to Governor Ron DeSantis, Christina Pushaw, and Wire journalist Megan Basham, whose social media posts are included in this slide. Comments by these people also present Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's relationship in a way that reaffirms traditional gender roles. This hyper-masculine framing of Travis Kelce persists despite some of Travis Kelce's actions, which appear to challenge the traditional masculine role and ethos in some ways. For example, Travis Kelce said he disagreed with Harrison Butler's comments that Harrison Butler made in his commencement speech he delivered to Benedictine College on May 11, 2024. This speech included themes similar to those reflected in conservative social media posts chosen prior, including the promotion of the idea that women should prioritize being homemakers rather than pursuing a career. According to the New York Times, Travis Kelce, when asked about his response to Harrison Butler's speech, said, quote, I can't say I agree with the majority of it or just about any of it outside of him loving his family and his kids. And I don't think that I should judge him by his views, especially his religious views of how to live life. That's just not who I am, end quote. Here is a telling example of Travis Kelce keeping one foot in the more liberal sphere as he publicly disagrees with Harrison Butler's sentiments reflected in the commencement speech, while also keeping the other foot in the conservative sphere by not being willing to make a more strong, or as Travis Kelce puts it, judgmental comment denouncing Harrison Butler's sexist comments. As alluded to previously, Travis Kelce embodies a more progressive set of definitions of masculinity as well. He does this in part through his interactions with his brother Jason Kelce on their podcast, New Heights. Here, Travis Kelce shows emotional intelligence and leans into showing emotion, and even crying when appropriate, as he did when they discussed Jason Kelce's potential retirement, and at Jason Kelce's retirement announcement itself, pictured on this slide. CNN contributor Amy Bass noted the Kelce brothers' comfort and openness with displaying emotion, and goes as far to describe these men as, quote, wearing their hearts on their sleeves, demonstrating that emotion not only isn't something we should hide, it is something that can make us better and put a spotlight on us to boot. End quote. To conclude, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's relationship has been economically beneficial for both of their brands, as well as the NFL's brand and viewership. Taylor Swift's ability to appeal to women by commercializing her personal life, which she blends with her professional lyrics and even sometimes her performances, led to increased interest in the Chiefs specifically and the NFL more generally when Taylor Swift started dating Travis Kelce. Other brands seemingly unrelated to music or football also managed to profit from Swift Kelce Mania through having the good fortune of being photographed being utilized by Taylor Swift while spectating Chiefs games. Studying the phenomena that is Swift Kelce Mania is worthwhile in part because of the amount of people and organizations who profited economically from this interpersonal partnership, and in part because of the ways in which both people that constitute this relationship both challenge and reaffirm gender norms. One has to wonder if one of the reasons the American public loves this couple so much is because of the ways they challenge gender norms, or is it because of the ways they affirm gender norms? In any case, Swift Kelce Mania is worthy of future study because its discernible impact on companies' revenue and the reasons why people seem fixated on this couple, reflecting common cultural values, especially those values related to gender. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my presentation. Here are my references.